in this room. I want to turn it over to the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, and I want to thank all of the members of the Ways and Means Committee for bringing us to where we are, or for getting us to this point. And ladies and gentlemen, the leader of this moment, Kevin Brady, chairman of the Ways and Means Committee.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, the American family standing with us today, and thank you as well, the Ways and Means Committee members who have been listening and traveling across this country for this historic day. This is an exciting day, and I can think we all feel excitement here in this room and here in this country. I know the American people have got to be excited as well. Real relief from today's complex, costly, and unfair tax code is on the way. With this bill, there's relief for real American families. There's relief for American workers, and there's tax relief for our hard-working job creators of all sizes. And with this bill, we will grow our economy by delivering more jobs, fair taxes, and bigger paychecks to Americans of all walks of life. That's especially true for low and middle income Americans who are just sick of today's broken tax code, its impact on their jobs, their lives, and their paychecks. Under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, that's going to change, and it's going to change right now. For a middle-income family of four making $59,000 a year, as the Speaker said, this bill delivers tax cut of nearly $1,200. For that Main Street business, making $62,000 a year, working day and night and weekends, a tax cut of over $3,000 for that Main Street business. That's your money. You earned it. You deserve to keep it. And you should be able to use it for whatever you want. That's exactly what this bill will do, and that's why the Tax Cut and Jobs Act has President Trump's full support. This is in America. This is our opportunity to make tax reform a reality and deliver the most transformational tax cuts in a generation. So let's not let Washington special interests, the TV pundits, or the pessimists fool you. None of them thought we'd even get this far with tax reform, and they're wrong.
All right, Kevin Brady from Texas, the House Ways and Means Committee chairman. Bigger paychecks and real relief from today's complex, broken tax code on the way. $1,200 extra for most Americans, $3,000 for that small business that you heard about on Main Street. This is good news, folks. This is real reform. And like I said, I'm not offended if there's some tax breaks for the rich, because it's the rich that create the jobs, largely speaking, in this country. We need wealthy. We need rich people. And remember, Bill Clinton and remember Barack Obama didn't have much money. The Clintons were broke, and now they're multimillionaires. Only in America. But, folks, people are hurting financially, and I believe this president has heard it loud and clear. And this is good news, so be looking for more money for you to be able to keep your money that you earned. You heard it from Kevin Brady himself. You earned it, and he sounded very, very confident and proud to be able to present it to the American people. And I think this is a proud day for America. I believe this is going to start fueling up the economy in a really positive way, and I know a lot of people need that kickstart incentive to start businesses and to be able to just get out of hawk, because there's a lot of people that are just so far in debt. It's not even funny. Who's that singer that I was talking about? I haven't listened to her, but maybe you know Lindo Pamita. She is a Colombian-Canadian singer, and the reason I'm bringing up her story is she's asked white audience members during her concert to move to the back of the concert hall, and people of color to actually move to the front during her Halifax pop explosion gig in Nova Scotia's capital last month, and then it actually got ugly. Yep, Lindo Pimenta. You want to listen to her asking her audience to do this. Whites weren't very happy about this. But according to some journalists, they're saying it's often part of her shows. But this time apparently was met with some resistance. The magazine was talking about here, Entertainment Magazine, a white female volunteer who was reportedly there to photograph the show, along with several others white audience members reacted to the singer's desire to get brown girls to the front with what festival officials called aggressive and over racism. And this is according to Billboard magazine. That's kind of like an industry standard for entertainment. But she's played over here in the United States, too, and I'd love for her. That didn't go over well there in Nova Scotia. I can't imagine her bringing that over here. Who in the heck you think listens to some of that music? Social media is kind of a great gauge to see what people have to say. Asking YT folks to move space for people who are 100% of time oppressed in our system is an act of love and unity. That's kind of an interesting thing. Okay, but that's not racism. Men to the back and women to the front, and brown girls in front of the white women because brown women are more oppressed. That's love. This is a master class on victimhood. As soon as you hear justify existence, you know you're dealing with a pro. White Latino, where should I be in your concerts? WTF, Halifax pop explosion, Lindo, Pimenta are pure racism. What a grotesque display of racism. Largely, those particular comments, yes, victimhood, exactly, not a way to be able to fix a problem by sending people in the back of the bus, back into the concert. Yeah, white people, you bought it concerts here, you got to sit in the back. It doesn't go over well. Give me a break. That's overtly racist. But you know what, though? That's the tide, folks. This is the change in climate where even entertainers are so bold to take the risk, but there's already a backlash. So just wanted to put it out there. If your daughter, your son's listening to it, don't go to the shows, especially if you're white. You just sit in the back. It wasn't a comedy club. No, it wasn't a joke. They were straight up. She's done it before, offended people. Doesn't care. Doesn't care. But, you know, and given the fact, seriously, the opportunities that some of these singers have to be able to have the limelight like this, you know, I just think she's trying to be part of this wave of controversy to be able to get publicity because her music really is horrible. I've actually listened to some tracks of it. It's not very good. And I actually like several Spanish acts, but I even tried to warm up to some of the music. It's just not good. I guess she's trying to get herself a book deal or something like that. So China sending a rare message to North Korea's Kim. Possibly. Chinese President Xi Jinping has sent North Korean leader Kim Jong-un a rare message out of politeness. This is what some of the pundits are saying. Beijing said Thursday in its first public communication with its wayward neighbor for more than a year. The note signaled out a possible improvement in their strained relationship, which has soured mainly over Pyongyang's growing weapons ambitions, even though Beijing is its longtime ally and economic benefactor. I wish that under the new situation, the Chinese side would make efforts with the DPRK side to promote the relations between the two parties and the two countries to sustainable soundness and stable development, Xi Jinping said, according to the North's KCNA news agency, addressing Kim as Comrade Chairman. So this is some kind of obvious diplomacy from just reading this here, reaching out, Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, trying to reach out to Kim, but they're the ones that are cooperating with these UN sanctions. But it is the trade deals, obviously being supplied by China, that they're feeling the pinch. And no wonder Kim is being nice, because maybe they're trying to free up things and they might just feel that there's more sanctions coming because the noose could be tighter. They're still bringing in coal, they're still bringing in oil, still bringing in food. It's been cut down substantially, but they haven't been stopped, folks. They haven't been that choked. Analysts say that such exchanges have become extremely rare under the current leaders, even though Beijing and Pyongyang traditionally sent greetings and congratulations on each other's key anniversaries in the past. So some people say this might be a good thing. I think they're trying to save face, and that is the North with China, because the North needs China. They don't have many friends, as you can imagine. It's their largest trade partner, and they're like right there. And certainly they don't want them to side anymore with the West. God forbid. I think it's a good move, seriously, with Beijing. If they can have some kind of open dialogue, perhaps on their nukes, and maybe the president can get through to him, unlike Trump, and maybe somebody can sit down and bring him to the table to squelch his nuclear ambitions, because there's a lot of people that are up at night about this in our country that, are big muckety-mucks, if you will, at the Pentagon and the NSA, people that, I guess I could say, obsess about these things, but they get paid to do it. They have to plan for eventualities. They have to put plans together to preserve, our way of life over there in case, or here, and all over the world, just in case of a doomsday scenario. It's not stuff that people want to talk about, and obviously I understand. But Trump is geared up to go over next week. So I still think that there's a possibility that there might be a fireworks show over, from Kim's regime. I don't think he's going to blow up anything. I think he's going to launch something just to say, welcome Donald Trump. I just would not be surprised. I mean, just be on the lookout for it. And it's already been circulating, and a lot of people think the same thing. So they must have listened to my show and speculated. It's just because this guy hasn't done it for so long. He's going to feel, threatened that Trump's over there, hates Trump, and Trump is certainly giving him a piece of his mind, unlike Barack Obama appeasing him. And other presidents, George W., George H., really not giving him the tongue lashing that Trump has given him. That's pretty much what you get with Donald Trump, is he speaks his mind, sometimes even to a fault of shooting from the hip. Like I've said with Donald Trump's tweets, I'm not offended. I'd rather have somebody give it to me straight, tell me how you really feel, so at least I know where I stand, versus not knowing. It's refreshing. I like it. There was a time in my life where I really didn't like people speaking their minds like that. I'm like, sugarcoat it, please. But you grow up and you realize, I'd just like to know where I am. And a lot of people are just wondering if this trip with Donald Trump over to the Asian Pacific, if it's going to really make that much of a difference. I think it's going to make all the difference. I think he's going to be able to share his disdain and also garner more support for the reason why he's doing what he's doing. And he has a chance to really solidify it in a real way. And if Kim does not launch, then he's behaved himself. If he doesn't do something when Trump is there, because I would just imagine that it could be used to the advantage to the Americans, where, they would usher Trump off in Air Force One, get him out of Dodge, and say that was meant for the president, and it could go awry from there, is what I'm saying. It could be a bad situation, and it could get a little scary. Who knows? And I hope nothing bad happens. I'm not wishing anything bad, but I do think that it's an opportunity responsibly to send the right message in a tone that is not aggressive in the extent to where it provokes the North from thinking that we're going in there to change the regime, but at the same time bringing them closer to the table, or somebody to be able to negotiate this. And quite frankly, I don't care who does it, but somebody needs to do it. Because if we don't avert this, we're going to be hit World War III, at least with back to war with Korea and to the North. And that's just not going to be a good thing for our military, our men and women that serve over there in South Korea. They don't need this war. We don't need this war. And just think we're stretched so